This is wild. We are literally only minutes into Judgment Day, and we've already lost one and a half captains, and almost had the entirety of the Noble Realm destroyed. All of this in just a span of 2 chapters. And as crazy as it's already been, things are just going to get crazier from here on out. Okay, so the chapter opens up, and we see our now captain turned donut slumped over on the very verge of death. Lucky enough for him though, Giga Chad William is quick to act and uses his World Tree magic to send Jack over towards Yami. And this scene was almost certainly setting up the fact that Jack will be back to full health in the next few chapters, because as we know, as long as someone is still technically alive, William can bring them back from the brink of death. But the spell he uses to do that is slow acting, so I believe he activated ahead of time with those branches, and then handed them over to Yami to protect him until he's fully healed. And if this is the case, then in the first 2 pages of this chapter, we've already seen William do more on screen than we have since before the fight against the elves. Unfortunately, his epicness doesn't last long as he charges headfirst straight for Lucius alone. This was dumb. Very, very dumb. Now, I mean, don't get me wrong, William is an incredibly strong character. In fact, all of the captains in the Clover Kingdom are. It's just that Lucius is just on a whole different level. As we see, as when William goes to attack him, Lucius is effortlessly able to counter the attack with a single chronostasis, corroding William's arm until it almost disintegrates. And now, it is worth noting that this is actually the same arm that Julius had damaged back when he first encountered Patry, and later on we saw that that arm was back to full health, most likely due to William's own healing magic, so more than likely he'll be able to fix the arm. But still, this just shows that Lucius is someone that William would not stand a chance of defeating. In fact, that's basically what this chapter is all about, showcasing to the captains and us as the readers that both Lucius and Yuno are on a completely different playing field than everyone else. As we see Yuno also effortlessly use his star magic to protect the noble realm from a large-scale attack sent by the angels. Although it is worth noting that Lucius actually activated his true human transformation when countering William, which not only gives some solid points to William for being strong enough that Lucius had to transform in order to defeat him, because I honestly kind of thought it would be a lot easier for him to do that, but it also both makes me hopeful and extremely nervous for Yuno, because Lucius is activating what we so far know as his strongest form before their fight even begins, and while Yuno is still in base. And because this is a Shonen Jump battle manga, that can only mean one of two things. Option 1, Lucius is actually a lot weaker than I thought he would be, meaning he'll have to rely on clever tricks to defeat Yuno. Or option B, this is not his final form, and considering how confident Lucius seems to be, I'm really leaning towards option B being the correct answer. Although, that's not to say that Lucius won't still rely on dirty tricks to get the upper hand, because assuming he has any control over the angels, we could see him spam that AoE attack they use in this chapter, potentially putting Yuno in a Patry versus Julius situation. Although, that being said, it's not like Yuno doesn't still have a good chance of winning this fight, as we see him at the very end of the chapter unwrapping the bandages on his left arm, which many believe is going to lead to a brand new power-up. And even if it turns out that Yuno just had the bandages on his arm because he thought it looked cool, more than likely we'll still see in this fight Yuno's brand new and final Spirit Dive. So far, the Spirit Dive forms we've seen from Yuno are Zephyr, Euros, and Boreas, each being named after 3 of the 4 gods of wind in Greek mythology, leaving the only one left being the god of the south wind Notus, which is more than likely going to give Yuno an enormous power boost during this fight. Unfortunately, that most likely won't be enough to take down the man who aims to be God. But even if this brand new form isn't strong enough to take down Lucius, it should be strong enough to hold him off long enough for Asta to make his way over from the land of the sun. And with the two brothers finally reunited, not even this false god stands a chance.